Was Silk Road a genuine experiment in freedom, or a rationalization for a $200 million drug empire? The answers are contained within the federal court records of United States versus Ulbricht, grounding the site's history in verified investigative findings. This visualization maps the platform's growth. Between 2011 and 2013, the court record shows more than 1.5 million individual transactions, generating over $200 million in revenue. A commission on every sale continuously funneled digital currency back to the anonymous administrator. Despite its libertarian framing, the inventory was dominated by illegal narcotics: heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine, and LSD. These substances reached global buyers through the ordinary mail, utilizing the postal system to fulfill orders placed on the darknet. The platform functioned as both an ideological experiment in free markets and a high-volume marketplace for controlled substances. Ross Ulbricht, a 26-year-old physics graduate, was identified by the government as the man collecting these commissions. Before 2011, his record was unremarkable. He operated the site under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts. The name served as an identity shield, designed to suggest that the administrator's role could be passed from one person to another. This anonymity was maintained through two specific technologies: the Tor network, which had user IP addresses, and Bitcoin, which allowed for payments that bypassed traditional banks. While these tools provided digital protection for the syndicate, the trade itself involved physical products with a real-world impact. As millions of dollars in untraceable drugs entered the postal system, how did this digital market manifest in physical reality? Transactions made in an anonymous digital environment eventually resulted in physical packages arriving on doorsteps across the globe. Federal releases from the DOJ and FBI detailed the consequences of this distribution network. Investigators eventually linked 6 fatal drug overdoses to narcotics purchased through Silk Road. The anonymity that protected the site's revenue also removed the safety guardrails typically associated with the sale of lethal substances. One of those 6 victims was 16 years old. These fatalities were more than background data for the prosecution. At sentencing, the federal judge specifically cited these deaths to illustrate the harm the marketplace caused to the public. In the court record, the legacy of the marketplace is defined by these physical outcomes, rather than its digital architecture. To what lengths would the platform's operator allegedly go to protect this syndicate? The most legally complex chapter of the investigation involves a series of government allegations regarding the Dread Pirate Roberts. Prosecutors alleged that the administrator solicited and paid for murders for hire to remove individuals he viewed as threats to the site's security. It is a matter of legal record that Ross Ulbricht was never charged with, tried for, or convicted of any murder for hire. Furthermore, the government never proved that any actual killing took place. These claims were presented by the government only during the sentencing phase as evidence of intent, not as crimes proven before a jury. The figure of the Dread Pirate Roberts remains defined by this tension between documented technical management and unproven allegations of violence. As the site grew, a federal task force was mapping the empire's digital footprint from the outside. Federal agencies coordinated a cybercrime probe of significant scale, working to identify the man behind the pseudonym. However, it later emerged that the investigation itself was compromised by internal corruption. What happens when the federal agents hunting a Bitcoin criminal decide to start stealing the Bitcoin themselves? The focus of the case was about to shift from the administrator of Silk Road to the agents who were assigned to catch him.